Hello, welcome to Joyous Jabbers. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Tiffany.
Glad you're here today. We thought we'd do a book review.
More like book, like rant? No, it's not a rant because it's not
It
bad.
is not going to be a rant.
It's just a book talk. I think it's more
Yes.
a book talk.
We have When the Smoke Clears, When a Heart Stops. Where is that? Okay.
And When a Secret Kills.
And When a Secret Kills by Lynette Eason. And these were books that were recommended in the back of Dee Henderson's latest
I think it was full
ones.
disclosure that it was recommended.
They were recommended in all of them pretty
Oh, okay.
much. Yeah. And so, you know, we had said in a couple of the videos that we got these.
Mm-hmm.
And I have finally finished the third one. I finished it the last day of August. Yes, last day of August. So, I read a whopping 9 books last month. I am so impressed with me. That doesn't usually happen. But these were good. And
Yeah, they were pretty good.
the thing is usually when a book is good, I want to own it.
Mm-hmm.
And these were good.
I don't want to own them.
And I recommend them, but I don't need to own them.
Yeah, I won't read them again.
I probably won't.
Yeah.
They're a suspense. They're kind of, okay, I would say they're a low-end thriller, because I did read that Red 1, 2, 3 that I read
Mm-hmm.
was supposed to be a thriller.
Oh, it was?
I think so.
I think suspense is more like Christian fictions. Like, they don't want to scare you away by saying it's a thriller, so they say suspense.
Yeah. Well, this one was more a
Yeah,
thriller.
book 2 was a thriller. That one, boy,
Yeah. Now, so, having said that, this book is about, alright, the series is about 3 high school friends.
Mm-hmm.
And something happens on graduation night, and,
One of the friends, Jillian.
Jillian, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's why we do these together, because I can't remember to do them all on my own. There'd be too many edits to handle for that.
Yeah.
But, so Jillian sees something, and it scares her, and she runs off.
Yeah.
And they give her money to run off, and they don't hear from her for 10 years.
Yeah.
In the process, this one is about Alexia, one of the friends. And it's Alexia, Serena, and Jillian. And Alexia has an abused past, and there was a fire in her home, and
She's blamed for it all her life. She's been blamed for this.
right. But so she becomes what do they call it? Smoke jumper.
She's a part-time smoke jumper, and she does firefighting too. I think in the first chapter it says that she's both.
Okay, yeah, it did say she was both a firefighter and a smoke jumper, and I don't know what it is, because something happens and she pretty much leaves that, because she was living in Washington or Oregon or something, and, well, North Cascades, you tell me where that is. Anyway, she was living there and had a problem and ended up basically being suspended for a bit.
She was suspended, yeah.
And
under investigation, I think.
yes, and so she was they were trying to kill her, and so she goes to her hometown
For the 10th year reunion.
Yeah, for their 10-year high school reunion, and she and her mother's in the hospital, and so that's why she goes back. And so it's about the reunion of her and her high school friends and crushes. All of them have high school crushes, and which was a point of contention with Tiffany.
Hated that.
And never having gone to high school, you know, in a public setting, she was homeschooled. So
I think it was idiotic, but whatever. I liked this one. I gave it 4 stars.
on Goodreads,
On Litsy.
on Litsy.
I gave it 4 stars on Litsy. And just the reason it wasn't 5-star was, look at the cover. It very obviously it says firefighter. And it was involved in the plot, but I was expecting to see her in her job more.
Right.
My expectations were different from your blank slate.
Yes, I go into books with a blank slate.
And I just can't do that. I've tried,
I go
and I
with a blank
can't.
slate.
And so this one, it was enjoyable, but I
Yeah.
won't ever read it again.
Yeah, I liked it, but I really don't need to read it again.
Yeah,
but I
I'd
still recommend it,
Yeah, seriously.
because the series is good, and
It is a good series.
if you like suspense, it
It's
keeps you guessing.
heart-pumping.
It keeps you
heart-pumping.
guessing. It's a page turner. It keeps you wondering what's happening, and you trying to figure out what's going on. Was there murders in this one?
I think yes, it was. There were
Hours
two,
of
three
yes,
murders.
hours
Murders.
of. It says, yet troubles follow her, and within hours of arriving home, she's involved with murder, arson, and a handsome detective. And so there are murders involved, and of course, that can get your heart pumping a little bit.
Especially when she's being framed. The entire time,
Right.
like through her suspension, she's being framed, and now this, she's being framed, and all through this, we're wondering what happened to Jillian on graduation night.
Right.
And that's the thread that weaves these three stories really together, is Jillian and what she saw.
Right. It really could have been one humongous book, but they chose to break it up
Yeah,
into
and
three.
I'm glad they did.
Yes.
My favorite was When a Haunt Stops, the second one.
And that one was difficult for me to read because I don't do thriller very well, evidently. And this has a serial killer.
It has
in
a really creepy serial killer.
Yeah.
Really creepy serial
And
killer. I didn't realize it was a serial killer going in, but I knew there was going to be, like, deaths and stuff.
Right.
And I really liked this one, I think the most, was because we actually got to see her do her job.
Yeah, we do.
She's
we see Serena
She's
do
an ME.
medical examiner.
Elise. We don't see it, like, as much as I wanted to see it,
Right.
but I remember going, oh, thank you. I'm actually seeing her do what the cover advertises.
Yeah, and it really, it was a good, it was very good.
Yeah.
And I've recommended it to my mom. I think it's a series that she would enjoy reading. And so if you like murder mysteries, I mean,
If you like CSI, if you like the kind of, the really heart-pumping,
it's
don't
grittier.
read it at night.
Yeah, it's grittier. We did not read this at night.
I did, actually.
Okay,
I
did.
I started after dinner, and I couldn't put it down, and it was almost midnight before I finished the book.
That was a mistake.
That was a mistake.
Yeah.
Don't know how I got to sleep that night.
Yeah, it
didn't-
was good.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was really
It was really
good. And I would have to give that probably a 4.5, 5 star.
Yeah,
I mean, it was really good.
I give it a 4-star, because I wasn't mad at the romance,
Right.
and I wasn't mad at the whole thing. But it still wasn't a 5-star for me, because I have this thing where if you say in the beginning of the book, like you mention a tick they have, like, oh, she twirls her ring. And I'm like, okay, well, you need to keep doing this tick then. Especially if she's nervous, if you make it a point to say, oh, when she's nervous or irritated or something, she twirls her ring, then I'm expecting, not to see it every sentence, not every chapter, but I'm expecting it to remain
Continuous.
continuity?
Yeah, you want continuity.
Continuous throughout the book. And I didn't really see that. I mean, it might have skipped my attention, because when I get into a story for the first time, I'm here for the story. So it might have been there, but I noticed that, and it's not my favored way of writing.
I thought the ring thing was in the third one.
It was either this one or this one.
Then it must have been that one, but I thought it was in this one. So then this one picks up.
I gave that one a 4-star.
So then this one, When a Secret Kills, picks up with Jillian. And we finally get to know what's happened with Jillian. Jillian has contacted Serena
during this one.
Yeah. Although we don't see that contact, we see the results of the contact.
Yeah.
And
I think the reason why the author did that is very prevalent once you get to know Jillian.
Mm-hmm.
Which will be in the spoiler section of this video.
Yeah, and so in this one, it picks up with Jillian coming back to deal with what she saw on graduation night.
And these 3 books happen within like a month or 2 period of each other.
Yeah.
They happen very...
yeah, they're boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. So, yeah, Jillian, first, the the first chapter starts you off with a running start. Can't say what it is. I mean, I could because it is the first chapter, but I really liked that jolt that you get, and you're just like, oh wow.
Yeah, and so then it goes on. It's a mystery as to what she saw, unraveling what she saw, and
was what she saw really what she saw?
Right, and then interpreting what she saw.
Yeah, I gave this one like a 2 or 3 star. I didn't enjoy it as much.
Which we'll talk about in the spoiler section.
I didn't enjoy it as much. Some of the reasons I didn't enjoy it as much was because I expected Jillian to be something she ended up not being. Right. I expected more of a Natasha Romanoff, a more cold, more hardcore than Jillian ended up being.
Yeah. Jillian has hidden basically for 10 years. She's good at what she does. She's an investigative reporter, and she knows how to dig out secrets of people.
And I didn't really see that as much in this because it was really centered around the romance, and I didn't like the romance in this one at all.
You didn't?
I did not. I didn't like how
there wasn't a lot of it.
I didn't like how he treated her. I hated how he treated her.
He was protecting her.
It felt condescending.
I didn't feel that way.
Because, to me, she's been on the run for 10 years. She's been in hiding for 10 years.
Right.
She should know things. If you've been hiding for 10 years, you're going to take a self-defense class. You're going to...
And she did.
Yeah, she did. And if you're an investigative reporter, you're doubly going to make sure you're safe and secure. And if you're looking over your shoulder for 10 years...
Right.
I just expected her personality, or her, to be different.
Right.
And then when the love interest tries to... protect and condescend almost, when she tries to explain what she saw and stuff, and he's like, you're wrong.
Well, and to be fair, the person that she is
suspecting is very close to him.
Yes.
But still, I'm just saying that condescending...
And it's somebody very important in his life.
I didn't like it. And then the plot, there was a twist in this book that I was just like, didn't like it.
But
so I didn't really enjoy it.
I felt it was a good book. I enjoyed it. I felt, I think it ended the trilogy. I think it ended it well. Yeah. It tied it all together. And then thankfully there was an epilogue, or, I think it was an epilogue, a 2-page epilogue or something at the end of a large print. So it was probably really 1 page, but whatever.
No. It's multi.
Oh no, it was several pages.
Several pages.
Oh, good for us.
Yeah.
And it tied it up nicely. It put a nice little bow on it, and I liked that. So it gave me a nice closure to it.
Overall, it was a good series.
Yes.
Full trilogy.
And I would read something else by Lynette Eason.
I would too.
I enjoyed it. It was definitely fast paced. It got the heart pumping.
Yeah, my favorite was When a Heart Stops, Serena's story.
Yeah.
And I feel like you could read that alone.
Yeah, I think you could.
I think you could. I think you could read it without any context.
Although
Jillian's contact with her is a little important, so you kind of do need the context of the prologue and When a Smoke Clears, the first book. But otherwise,
yeah,
it was a good trilogy.
You could probably
it was
read
a good
alone.
read. I think they're fast reads.
Yeah, they were pretty fast reads.
I think they're pretty fast reads.
Because these are the large print edition, and there's almost 500 pages of a large print book.
Yeah, which means it's
494 pages of a large print book. So it's probably
300 to 50 plus pages.
Yeah, probably 350 pages in a regular print book. So it's a decent sized book. It's not real huge, and it's definitely no Stormlight Archive.
Yeah.
At 900 to 1,000 pages. So. But that's it for the non-spoiler section. It's a good series. It's called Deadly Reunions by Lynette Eason, and we recommend it.
Yeah, I recommend it.
So now, if you aren't going to read books, or if you've read the books already and you'd like to know what we think about some other things, stick by. We're going to talk about that in just 5, 4, 3, giving you time to cut it off, 2, 1. Now.
Okay, so I want to rant about Jillian. I didn't like Jillian. I didn't like Jillian.
Well, you were expecting Jillian to be somebody she's not because you assumed she was the one sending the notes.
Yes. So throughout this whole series, we see some mysterious person sending all caps notes of threats to the senator. Was he a senator?
He is a senator.
A senator that Jillian,
who happens to be Colton's.
Who happens to be Jillian's romantic interest's uncle.
Right.
And back 10 years ago, Jillian saw, she saw Colton's uncle kill someone. And he saw him.
Right.
Seeing him.
He
was caught.
He saw her see him.
And so
And she ran away.
She ran away.
Because she's a 18-year-old.
What you gonna do?
In a difficult situation.
So she ran away.
The reason she was there is because she was there to see Colton because Colton was supposed to have been there and she needed to tell him that she was pregnant.
Yeah, so she leaves and then now 10 years later, she's raised her daughter by herself. You know, just everything adds up to a totally different person I would have expected.
But she met Brady, who, if you've read the book, Brady is like a brother to her. At the time that she met Brady, who was had former special forces, he was married and his wife ended up shortly after they met dying of cancer. I think is what it was, and so, but for like 2 years, I think it was, she knew them as a couple, and he taught her about self-defense and how to shoot a gun and how to take care of herself.
But still, that he taught her how to survive.
Yes.
And so I still expect a more hardened person.
Yeah, she has a concealed carry and she carries a gun in her.
Yeah, I still suspect. And then when she meets Colton,
yes,
it's like the interesting part of her sort of shuts down, and that was something I disliked about all three of these books, except maybe Serena. Is that when we meet the love interest, a lot of their good, like the thing that I was like, ooh, I kind of like Alexa. Their independence dies down. I mean, yeah, you're in stress and you want to be protected and all this, but you're a firefighter. You're a bad butt woman, you know. I felt like they should have stuck more true to themselves than to just, like, if it was just one of them that did it, I would have been okay with it. But it just felt like
after Alexia's story, she's just kind of every once in a while mentioned.
Oh, and that was another thing.
She's not really. It doesn't seem like her friendship is renewed with these two, that they were all three best friends. It seems more like Jillian and Serena were best friends and Alexia was kind of just involved. Because she doesn't seem to be the best friend anymore of any of them. And, you know, she's been gone for 10 years. But so has Jillian. So.
And then in this one, we hardly ever see Alexa.
Right. She's thrown in there once and one hug and yeah, it's.
And I just sort of felt like I was seeing the same template over and over again. I mean, and it works, I guess, for a trilogy, but it was just like, oh, the woman is in distress. Oh, the woman is saved by a studly man, who, by happens, is her high school crush.
Yes.
And I think if they would have changed up one of the variables...
Right, at least make one of them not be a high school crush.
If they would have done that, I would have been... Yeah. That's why I liked this one, was because a variable was different. It was a serial killer. That didn't really have anything to do with Jillian as much as, like it seemed like you could read this one by itself. Mm-hmm. And I liked that. Like, even though Jillian's, like, box and stuff and message was involved.
Right.
It just, I liked this one more because it didn't feel like a carbon copy of Alexa. Mm-hmm. But still, the template of she's in danger, this happens, you know, it sort of carried on into this one, and I was like, there's no serial killer to rescue you. The big baddie ends up not really being a big baddie, although he tried to kill you.
Yeah, so really, the senator thought he had killed the governor. And Jillian thought the senator had killed the governor.
Yeah. Turns out he didn't. His wife did?
Yes. His wife did because she had found he was giving her divorce papers. And
not the governor's wife, the senator's.
Yes, the senator's wife was
aiming. Wasn't she aiming for him?
She was aiming to kill her own husband
and kill the governor instead.
And the governor went at the same time that her husband, the senator, was shooting the gun at the governor. She shot at the senator, but the governor moved out of the way
of the senator's bullets and into her bullets.
Yes.
Yeah, and she ended up being the one sending the notes.
Yeah,
to her own husband, and it just felt like we couldn't have a baddie. Like, it felt like there had to be that plot twist at the end. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, we're going to cut that out. It's going to do it again, but in a few seconds. I liked that they had you question, because I questioned right up front, because he was staggering. He looked drugged.
Mm-hmm. I didn't question. I was just like...
Yeah. I was like, mm-hmm. So who? He wasn't too drunk.
Halfway through, the way his wife was acting, I was like, she killed him.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm. Halfway through, I called it. And then when we met the daughter, the first chapter, after 2 books of no mention of the daughter, I was like, yeah, they're going to do something with the kid, aren't they?
Oh, Meg?
No.
Carmen?
Yeah, Carmen. Meg is Jillian's daughter. Carmen is the senator's daughter. Carmen, it just felt like very, here's an important plot thing that we forgot in the last 2 books. And I was like, okay, there's something here. And then the way his wife was reacting, I was like, you really killed him, didn't you? Yeah. And you're going to try to kill your husband, aren't you?
I did not see that the wife had done it. I didn't see that at all, but I did suspect that it wasn't Jillian who'd sent the notes, and I did suspect that it wasn't wasn't the senator who had killed the governor. I did suspect it was Elliot, his
aide or something,
whatever he
butler
was. Thing. No, Ian was his butler. Elliot was like his manager or something.
Yeah.
Whatever senators have, that.
PA,
like,
personal assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah, so overall, I wouldn't say it was a horrible book.
No, I thought it was good.
She gave it like a 4-star.
I would give it a 3.5.
I gave it I was very generous and gave it a 3. I was very generous and gave it 3 stars, but just look, the aftertaste of it is so foul in my mouth that it sort of corrodes this one, but then I'm like, I really liked When a Heart.
Wow.
I really liked When a Heart Stops.
Right. And she's still involved in this one. And really, I think they just didn't know what to do with Alexia.
I think so, too, because there wasn't any fire. There wasn't
there was a fire.
Was there?
Yeah, there was a fire in one of these, too.
Yeah, I think it was... Yeah, didn't her house blow up or something?
Yeah, and...
and another thing. How big is this town?
Oh, yeah.
How big is this town?
Well, we did find out later that it was the capital of South Carolina. I think it is. Columbia.
Okay, so, in this one.
Yeah.
Alexa's hometown, which I'm like, it's a hometown. I'm thinking it's small. And then... like, practically everyone on her mother's street's a Christian and go to the same church.
Yeah.
And then Serena goes to the same church.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
And then Hunter goes to the same church. The police officer who's her love interest goes to the same church.
And we meet the pastor.
Yes.
And he's not like a mega church pastor.
No.
Not at all.
No.
And so it's not a mega church.
No.
It just... I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that was a bit...
And then, like, there's 4 explosions in one book. Like, a house blows up. The FBI should have been there.
Well,
was Dominic an FBI agent?
Yes, Dominic is FBI.
Yeah, but he wasn't there to be an FBI agent. He was there to
He didn't come until here.
No, he came at the end of this one.
At the end of this one.
Yeah, because I remember being like, oh, Kate, get your head out of your butt. There was this character, Hunter's partner.
Yes, Katie.
Katie.
Don't like Katie.
I don't like Katie. She was a jerk butt to
but
Alexa.
We do have to say, at the end, Katie has her guy too.
What, really?
Yes.
Who was it?
That Garrison or Graham or whatever it was.
I didn't remember it.
Yeah, it was a little bit too neat of a bow.
It was like, really?
But it was still good. I still enjoyed the series. It was a fun read.
I think what would have made this more enjoyable is if the epilogue wasn't just 6 months later.
Mm-hmm.
And already these people are getting married and stuff after... I understand. It was like life-threatening situations and now you just want to, cleave to someone.
Well, they were high school sweethearts.
That doesn't make
10
sense.
years ago.
That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Yes. I understand you don't.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And so it's only 6 months later and, oh, what do? Everyone's happy. If it was like 3 years later and you would have shown me them all married and stuff, I think that would have been better.
But think, too, they're all like 28, 30-somethings.
So, but I'm not saying I wanted them newlyweds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, show me one of them having a baby and stuff. It's not that I wanted them newlywed at 3 years. I just wanted I wanted to be away.
Further away and not just seeing an engagement at the end.
And a marriage. It's like
2 marriages, and yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Jillian and her, what's his name even?
Colton.
Don't like Colton.
Colton was nice. I like Colton. He had a very troubling situation. It was hard. The woman you love and the man who's been more than a father to you. Which one are you going to believe? That's hard.
Anyways.
Yeah.
It's 6 months later and they're all happy-do, all their problems are solved. It just felt a
little too neat of a bow, but that's okay. It's definitely over. There's nothing else coming.
Yeah, it's definitely over, which I'm happy for.
Yeah, but it was good.
It was a good series. I'd recommend it. Yeah. For a nice, like, if you don't have anything that you want to read, I would recommend it.
Or even if you're looking for a suspensive thriller type suspense, I'd pick it up.
I think another thing is that because of this cover, I was expecting her to do something with hacking and stuff.
Tiffany definitely judges books by their cover.
I do.
Very covery. Judging.
Especially because, she's a reporter.
Yeah.
We didn't really. I think that's another thing is right after Serena's Emmy and awesomeness, we get.
Right.
Like it's like Alexa got a paint job, and that's one of the reasons she couldn't write Alexa and Jillian in the same.
It's possible, but Jillian was an investigative reporter, and she was talking to, wasn't it the mayor of wherever she was at, and the guy goes out. Chapter. Yeah, the guy goes out and gets her car and blows up. That was a spoiler. We're in the spoiler section.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, in the first chapter, a guy proposes to Jillian. And you're like, oh crap, well, is he going to be one of our ships we're rooting for? And then he blows up. Yeah.
So, clearly, we weren't going to root for that.
I would have been happy with that.
He seemed like a really nice guy.
He seemed like a really nice guy. Yeah. And it would have been the thing that probably would have made me enjoy it more instead of a cliched love triangle. Like, it wasn't even a cliche love triangle in the first one. Remember Hunter and his brother was like, may the best man win.
That was just
and Alex was
strange.
like, what's going on? And Hunter's like, just
yeah, that was strange. Yeah. No, it would have been more interesting for the guy who proposed to have lived and come back and her have the dilemma of, Do I go with the guy who
Yeah, that would have been really interesting.
is very a friend, you know, as opposed
I know
to
him really well.
the guy that, you know, was my high school sweetheart and the father of my child.
Yeah.
But clearly, she never stopped loving Colton because she told her daughter about Colton. She gave her daughter a locket with Colton's picture and told stories
That might
about...
just been guilt, you know, like I took you away from your father before you...
I don't think it was guilt. I think it was she really loved him, and
Okay.
it was her. It was probably her first love, and
There probably was.
you know, and so that stays with you.
Yeah. So, I trash it, but it was a good book.
She's hard on things.
I'm very hard on things because
She has high expectations.
I have high expectations. I don't want to waste my time.
Yeah, and see, in order to not waste my time, I go in with low expectations.
Oh my god!
Hi, we're almost done.
That was really scary.
Yeah, that was your dog.
So,
Not exactly a killer, but your dog.
anyways, we recommend the series, and
Yeah, but you know, go into it with low expectations, and you'll
probably
maybe
love it.
surprised and enjoy it as much as I did. So, with that, we say thank you for joining us, and until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Dear goodness, that was scary. We're just la la da, and then she's screaming bloody murder.